This is an Apple IIc computer from 1984. This computer has a 1 megahertz processor, so less than 1,000 times the speed of a contemporary desktop computer. It has 128 kilobytes of RAM, far less than the gigabytes of RAM present in contemporary computers. There's no disk in the drive. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You'll see the boot up sequence on the monitor. I'll hit Control Reset to exit that sequence, and you'll see it's blinking a command line prompt, waiting for me to tell it what to do. Well, let's ignore the Apple for the moment and pan over to my Windows XP laptop, where I've written a program that I want to show you. I'll click Grab Frame. It hides itself for a moment and then shows you that it's grabbed an image from the desktop of the computer. Now you can see the image that it's grabbed is somewhat blurry. That's because it's taken the full desktop image and reduced it down to 140 pixels wide by 192 pixels tall, which is the color resolution of the Apple II high-res display. It's also reduced it using a diffusion dither algorithm down to the 6 high-res colors: black, white, violet, green, blue, and orange. I can turn on auto refresh and it will start grabbing frames, and you can see as I move the window around, it's not hiding it here, that you can see the picture-in-picture is also moving. Well, that's fun, but what I really wanted to show you is that using this program you can stream these images to the Apple II. So I'll pick a COM port, and on this laptop this COM port is provided by a USB to RS-232 serial adapter, which is hooked up by a null modem cable to the Apple IIc. This was provided by retrofloppy.com. I heartily endorse this product and/or service. The first thing I need to do is send some code to the Apple II. So I'm going to click Send Bootstrap Code, and it's telling me to type some things on the Apple II screen. So IN number 2, which means take input from slot 2, which is the serial port, and then send a control sequence to set it to receive data at 9600 baud. Then I'll simply click OK on the Windows machine, and you'll see it's now receiving data. This is an assembly language program being entered as if a user was typing it, and then automatically invoked. And let me show you what happens when I send a single frame from the Windows machine to the Apple II. You can see it took just under a second for that to appear on the Apple. And I can turn auto refresh on, or streaming on, in the program, and then as I drag the window around, you'll see it appearing on the Apple II display. Now the serial connection is running at 115 kilobits per second, which gives us just over 1 frame per second. And at this point we're not doing any optimization of the transmission, so we're sending a full 8,192 bytes per frame. So for the Apple II aficionados, yes, we're sending the screen holes even though they're not used. There are various optimization tricks that we might take advantage of later. But what I really wanted to show you was a contemporary application running. And in this case, since I work at Linden Lab, the creators of Second Life, I wanted to show you Second Life on an Apple II. So I'm starting up the Second Life client, called the Viewer. And I should warn you that my laptop is connected to the internet via a Wi-Fi connection, so it's a little bit slower than the experience you'd get with a physical line. But you can see the login screen there. I've clicked Connect. And I've put it into full screen mode for the purposes of this demo. It's logging me in. And a message from a user, so I'll just ignore that for now. And it's kind of dark here. Let me force it to midday. And let me zoom my camera out and you can see where we are. This is the Joshua Linden pirate ship. Okay, now let's go exploring. So I'll click on a landmark and we'll teleport. Takes a moment for things to res in. But this is a foresty area called Billabong that's supposed to invoke the Australian Outback. The next place I wanted to show you is a popular educational spot in Second Life called the International Spaceflight Museum. It has scale models of rockets from space agencies around the world. Scale because even in Second Life they'd be absolutely huge. Looks like there's some media here. So I'll just stop that. They often stream shuttle launches and other events in. And here you can see various rockets resing in around me. This is a really fun spot to visit because you can play with actually launching rockets, go inside the space shuttle, participate with other groups during actual launch events. And for those who are curious, this is a close-up look at my avatar. I'm a kind of cephalopod called a nautilus. Continuing on with the tour, I wanted to show off a forested area because surprisingly trees come across very well on the Apple II screen. The Apple II was never known for its graphics capabilities. It has very limited colors, and the way they combine involves using one bit out of every byte to select a palette, which makes the graphics encoding quite challenging for programmers, especially on such a limited speed machine. But you can see in this area with trees and buildings, it's quite easy to make out stairways, platforms, trees, hills off in the background set against the sky. Let me pull the camera back so you can see both the Apple II display and the full graphics at once. If you want to find out more about this project, go to the Usenet newsgroup comp.sys.apple2.programmer. I've been discussing ideas there with other retro computing aficionados. Thank you for watching, and Apple II forever!